that celebrates the uniqueness of all human beings, your proposal was not good enough. Oh, make a schedule grid. Let folks know when they're supposed to present so they can show up and do it. Publicize the event so people will show up all over the place. Publicize it just like for the call. Have a pre-event meeting to make sure all the details are covered with all your committees. All right. The actual conference, check with all the committees. From my experience planning conferences, there's always going to be problems, right? You can plan politically, the politics of planning, but something's going to screw up. Something's not going to work. Sometimes the cookies aren't delivered, or the cookies are not vegan. They have like meat cookies. Or I don't know. I wonder if there are meat. They're like meat pies. I love meat pies. But meat cookies, maybe. They're like blood. Okay. Check with all the committees. Make sure you do have a specific committee in charge for registration, because people are going to show up and want to register. Give them little name tags. Yeah. Food committee. Maybe someplace, maybe you're at a church place with has a kitchen and a community center or whatever, and you got to figure out how to do that. Here. This is good stuff. If things need to be refrigerated for later meals, unpack these items and store them as early as possible. So one of the key takeaways from this chapter is if something needs to be refrigerated, don't leave it out. Get the kitchen prepared. Hot water and coffee urns take about 20 minutes to prep. So make sure the time is allotted. If you're serving food, remember to preheat the oven. Technology committee is usually busy because almost always tech doesn't work like you want it to work. Just expect, if you're doing this, that something's going to screw up. The Wi-Fi isn't going to work. You can't pull up what you're trying to pull. Something's going to happen. So you got to have somebody on the spot, Johnny on the spot, to figure out what to do. Are you going to provide childcare? Where if somebody is bored out of their minds and needs a nap, where do they go? Where do they go for emergencies? What happens if the squirrels attack? What if the National Squirrel Liberation Front has its own conference and decides after their concert that they want to go march at the Revolutionary Squirrel Watching Conference, and things just go to hell? It's all nuts. Okay. So think about accessibility. Most places have to be compliant with laws, but a lot of places aren't. Make sure people can get to where they need to get to. You have to have a key contact. Sometimes in our situations with the conferences that I work with, the Southern States Communication Association, we usually work with hotels, but the executive director actually gets a little key pin because I am a key person. Key contact. After everything is done, you want to have feedback and surveys, and then you got to clean up, make sure that you didn't leave any dead squirrels in the oven. Schedule a meeting afterwards to debrief, but don't debrief not your pants, unless the conference is sponsored by the Underwear Liberation Front. Okay. I'm having too much fun with this. This is all really, really good information, by the way. It's just, to me, it's just a little bit obvious, maybe, but sometimes, things, they're not as obvious. I don't know. Okay, so one thing that's important to me, they end with these little vignettes. One vignette, 2 conference goers. So vignette, whenever I see vignette, I always think vinaigrette. I don't know why. So, and by the way, avoid either or thinking. One of the things here is that conferences are where we get out from behind our computers, our books, our fundraising drives, and our petitions and meet one another to share, conspire, and learn. And this is all cool, but one of the things, so they have this little story, the vignette. 2 folks reading Echo Defense, a field guide to monkey wrenching. I have not read that. The 2 were from small towns over 700 miles away, but on this occasion, their shared passion for the wondrous beauty of nature brought them together. Once they noticed their connection, it was out of their hands. This is the type of connection that no blog, online forum, or indie media comment thread can emulate. I don't know. For those of you who take my CMC class, we can't always say that face-to-face cannot be captured another way. But it looks like, is this a love convergence? Neither one of them had much money, so they decided to purchase one copy of the book and read it together. They each put in their $5, picked up the book, and quietly went off to a corner to gobble up its contents. They skipped all the workshops that day. The 2 of them read that book from cover to cover by the end of the day. They woke up extra early the day after, this time with their backpacks. They went to the opening panel, said goodbye to their travel buddies, friends, and colleagues, and started off for the bus station. They left together. Oh, that's beautiful. And then they pillaged. There are these things, various liberations. The police indicated at each site a small note was left that read, "Hearts united, burning free, defending the earth from the sea to the sea." Alright, so it brings people together. Final thoughts. Yeah, things don't always work out, even though even vegans, I guess, sexually assault others. So it talks about how you have to change things depending on the context. Yeah. About the larger idea that organizing all this stuff is itself a political act, which I agree with. It is a sort of activism in and of itself. But again, the main thing of all this is that you're not going to do a whole lot all by yourself. And sometimes bringing people together, whether it's a small conference of 15, 20 people in Columbia, South Carolina, or hundreds of people wherever, bringing people together to talk about stuff and to get ideas and work together on like-minded projects can build a larger movement. And usually these larger movements is where we actually see major changes take shape. In any case, that's it. Have a delightful rest of the day.